Oh my god. This is kind of maybe even worse. If you learn your building positioning once, you will remember it for the entire StarCraft career. That might be the most important thing in the whole drop. Going 5-hack right here is okay, but we probably don't have any timing. So this is actually pretty good follow-up. I like what you are doing here. Make turrets. That's very important. You want to zone out observers. Take even one vulture and put it here. Put a mine. Take another one. Put mine here. Something you can learn for free that is gonna boost your game without any additional knowledge. So today we are gonna take a look on the game from 9egg. We are starting from the post position because I already saw some errors with mining, so I'm gonna get to them in a moment. But first, let's take a look what he said about this game. It was a TVP and my opponent played very greedy with Nexus first, plus fast third. I went for a vulture drop, but I was wondering if there is a more optimal way to play versus greedy builds. I notice on ladder my opponents will often play greedy too, and I don't know how to effectively punish it. This map also feels impossible to take third on. Okay, so yeah, this is actually Eclipse, that's true. Third is generally a little bit harder to take than on the other maps, but first things first. By the way, sorry for the lightning, this is how it is. Like, sun is going very hard today and I don't have any like additional lightning to make it better. I don't know. So this is how my camera is gonna look like. Anyway, the first STV we are gonna make, we're gonna send it to this mineral patch. And while I generally don't advise lower MMR players to care like much about the mining itself, it's true for boosting, but not for the actual like ordering of our mineral mining. So this is the worst patch for Terran, and we should not mine it, because mining this one is effectively gonna make our factory timing late. The best patch is this one. This is actually the worst. The first video on my channel is about mining. Go watch it, because I mean, it's actually pretty long. It was my first video, so it's pretty bad quality, but the value is there. So you can just skip the moments that are not pretty and watch the how to just mine minerals in correct order, because this is gonna be very important. This is another very big mistake. This works for every map, so you should remember to not ever do that, because look, this mineral patch is normally very good because STV is mining like that from top to the bottom. So this is great patch, but look what happens when you put supply over here. It doesn't make sense, but this is how it is. So look at it. It will go, like you see, diagonally. And this is not that fast anymore. You should never place a depot here. The problem with it is that whenever you put depot down where it's like not aligned with the mineral from the top, it's gonna mess up this patch. Like almost on every map. I don't know why it works this way, but it does. So if you want your depot here, put it like literally two squares down and it will work. So yeah, look, we are not mining this one at all, and this one is the best. So now if we're gonna fast forward a little bit, and we're gonna check our factory timing. By the way, this is also not the right position for our barracks, because this is not zealot tight from this angle. Like, barrack has to be on the right side of the depot, right, like here, for it to be zealot tight. So unfortunately, this doesn't even give us anything. And on top of that, imagine we're getting proxy gated. When the zealots will come from the top, they will harass our mineral line from here. This is too far from the action, because if we will want to attack the zealot, we will have to go all the way like that, and the second zealot can already counter us from this angle. So a lot of mistakes already in this game. So look, we put 11 gas at the timing of 12 gas, basically. Right? Was it like that? Let me make sure I'm not imagining things. So this is 11. Yeah, so look, we are cutting STV right now, and this is pretty much 12 gas timing in a moment. Right? We have 100. 138 is something you can get with a little bit of boosting, but if with 12 with STV already on the way, so we would be 50 minerals up. So we already in this game lost 50 minerals. That's pretty crazy, right? This is literally 50. We are down 50 minerals. So as you can see, this was extremely important. No, don't ever mine this patch first, or like don't make it one of your first one that you should mine, and never build depot like that. And on top of that, never build barracks like that. Yeah, so we didn't even get to the point of the game, the whole like strategical problems, and we are already having a lot of issues, right? Look, again, in this moment, 227, 16 supply, with Marine on the way, with Scouting STV on the way. In normal game, when we are mining properly, we already are putting down factory at 227. It's completely possible with a little bit of boosting. So that would be a difference between this, which is completely unoptimized, versus boosting. We would be having supply at the same time as well. So we would be 100 minerals ahead at this point. So this is I guess this is because of this SCV mostly. Because of course over time this is not that bad because you are mining from every patch anyway. But because of this SCV is so bad, we are already 100 literally. Like I'm not exaggerating anything. We are just down. Oh my god, what is this positioning? Okay, we have some serious issues right there. Because like if we put add-on right here, our tank or vulture will spawn over here and he will have to fight for his life to get out of this base through those SCVs mining gas. So yeah, that's a problem. And usually, as you can see, there is another problem related to all this mining issue, because this is not only that we are down all those minerals, but we are also supply blocked because we had to go factory first before our supply, and then we are skipping another STV, which will make us even more behind after, right? Okay, so for now, watch my first video on this channel, which is about mining, and the second one is watch the I have SimCity versus Zealot video as well, so you should watch that. Because this positioning is completely wrong. This is gonna ruin your entire experience in this game. Like, the units are gonna go crazy. Okay, but like strategy-wise, we see 12 Nexus. The problem is, right now, we are in pretty bad spot, like timings-wise, right? So, and on top of that, Eclipse is also cross-spawn. You have to consider it cross-spawn because the rush distance is pretty far. So it's not the best idea to rush the 12 Nexus. I would still do that because like that's kind of my style. I'm very aggressive with those, but you don't have to do that. But the moment you saw that, you should stop Marine production. So this Marine is completely unnecessary, for example. And put down CC ASAP. Vulture is fine, we can make it and run it across. But also like timing of the Vulture will be like... It wasn't that bad, right? Because it was like on the timing of 12 fact from 11 fact, but it's fine. Okay, oh my god. This is kind of maybe even worse, because now our unit will spawn here. Okay, this is getting worse and worse. We need to fix that. The building positioning is something that you need to fix, because this is very easy skill to have, and there is no reason to do it wrong every game. So basically, I don't know how much time you're already playing this game, but I saw on Seawall there was like 100 game played on the ladder, at least. So if you learn your building positioning once, you will remember it for the entire StarCraft career. If you don't put any effort into that, you will do it badly every game, and then this is only adding up to the frustration and to the losses. Because this is actually something that might cost you the game, and there is no reason for that, because this is free fix, right? Just put it here, that's it. Same with the barracks. If Zealot attacked you in this game, you'd be in troubles. We also don't need this bunker. Like, notice that you guys have to think about those things. Like, look, we are going across with the vulture, right? So we see that there are no units coming to us. Of course, there is a world where he would go around and so on, but you have to kind of play with the assumption that your opponent will is not gonna do like some stupidest shit that he can do. So we already see those two zealots here. He cannot have more at this point. This vulture this vulture is like pretty good. This is pretty good play. This is what you should do against that. But this bunker is like placed preemptively for sure. So yeah, avoid unnecessary losses like that. Because look how much we already like this game kind of snowballed already to the point where basically anyone would have troubles coming back. Because the early game is the most important. Those first 3 to 5 minutes are very, very important, and you should have them mapped out. You need to know what to do, more or less, of course. You won't be able to know about every scenario. Like at some point you will, but I'm not expecting 50-100 players to know every scenario. But for example, next time versus 12 next, don't build this so early. Just remember that you can start the bunker when your vulture is gone, or you went out of his base and the goon just spawned, because bunker is only making 18 seconds. So if you start it when he's about to go at you, you will finish it in time. So there is no reason to make it right now. By the way, I see another problem with the build in the meantime. So we are starting third depot over here. Right, actually, no, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, okay, never mind, that's fine. But it was made a little bit too late because we cannot make a building, right? I mean, a unit. So, yeah, it was kind of the next thing that we didn't do well, unfortunately. So we're going mines, vultures, that's good. I think you checked for the probe, so you noticed the probe was going out and you checked for the nexus over here, I think. So that's very good, but we should also check that, by the way. And you saw the probe dying here. So I hope that you noticed that this was the probe that he sent over here. And now the most important thing about versus 12 next is always to make SCVs, because you need to catch up. So very often at your level you will be able to count on your opponent not making workers, and this is exactly where you can get your advantage from. This is actually true to every level. Like even on the highest level, when we have mirror matches, one of the players will have more workers because he just better job at doing them. So this SCV making skill is true to like highest levels, and everybody has problem with that, even pro gamers. This is not something that you will like learn once and do it well every game. You have to constantly work on it. By the way, going for port there is completely fine. This is normal valid strategy versus 12 next to just go port. So this is good approach. We should go speed, by the way. There is no reason not to, because when Protoss is going 12 next, their robotics will be a little bit delayed usually. So going speed vultures would be good, because this is also good for drops, right? Okay, so we can assume that he has third base. And actually dropship versus very littered is very good, because every drop is better when there are more bases available for your opponent, right? Because then his defense has to be wider, kind of. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, there are no probes yet, so we have nothing to kill. Okay, let's see the execution of the drop. Okay. First of all, take this dropship and send it back. So what you should do is to unload, shift right click to the left corner, and then maybe even shift click to your base, something like that. But at least get out. That might be the most important thing in the whole drop. I mean, probably not the most important, but one of the most important aspect is to keep this dropship alive. The most important, of course, is to kill a lot of probes, but keeping dropship alive is the damage to Protoss in itself, because then he will have to take into consideration that another drop might come. And usually Terrans are not going for second dropship. Usually that's not the case, because it costs 100 gas, which is the cost of factory. Some players will do that, but that's very uncommon. So Protoss, most of the times when they kill dropship, they will assume that no second dropship will come, and they are usually right about it. So yeah, you should save that. That's very, very important. And certainly not load right here. So this is the moment where the speed for the vulture would be great, because we would be able to like sneak the vultures again to his nut maybe even. Yeah, and this is what Protoss do. They just target the dropship. Yeah, so that's a huge loss. This dropship is a huge, huge loss. But in general, the dropship was pretty good. Like, I mean, the damage we did was pretty good. Look, we are now up in workers. We were down in workers a lot, and now it's good. So it's actually fine. Going 5-hack right here is okay, but we probably don't have any timing. Normally, after such damage, we would have timing, but because he has third already, probably not. Probably his investment from this base is gonna be faster. Just he will have money fast enough from this investment to add an additional gateway and just stop our attack. So you see how having a dropship there would be amazing to just drop over here, right? Like again, that would be super good. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell this again. Like just unload right, shift right click away. That's very, very important. Wait, we're going for third armor. Okay, I guess you just forgot that you have one already. The build you are doing is actually pretty... Wait. Ah, this was CC. I didn't notice we have CC already. Anyway, the build you are doing here, where you go for those fast upgrades, is actually pretty good out of dropship. By the way, we are having manner armor out. Maybe that's why you're making another one. So this is actually pretty good follow-up. I like what you're doing here. It's actually pretty good. The problem is, as we can see, in supply, so we're down in army quite a lot. So we need to make more units first. But let's see the execution of this. Okay, first of all, kill this mine. I can already tell you this mine is gonna kill you quite often, especially if someone is ready to just go at you when you move out. I generally don't feel like we have enough, right? We have like what? Five tanks, 5 vultures. 2 more tanks are coming. Goliaths are good, but they won't stop shuttle from unloading if he has one. So I just don't think we have enough right now. We should wait for a little bit more vultures probably. Especially because you went for those upgrades, right? So every time you do something like that, you have to consider this scenario where he will just have more than you, and especially because of 12 Nexus, probably, and the early mistakes are, I think, the biggest problem in this game. So you dealt a lot of damage to yourself, but the problem is that you are probably not aware of that in this game, right? So you can see his Nexus being fast, you can see the Terror being fast, but you probably don't see your own mistakes because this is actually hard to detect. So let's see whether you can get this third base. Make turrets. That's very important. You want to zone out observers from your like center of your army, right? You don't want him to see everything. So that's the first point. Okay, yeah, indeed you killed this. But that's another eco damage, because you did it with STVs, right? So look how many things went wrong regarding your mineral income in this game. It's just getting worse and worse. Okay, what I like to do, like, take even one vulture and put it here, put a mine, take another one, put mine here. Something like that, because it would be so beneficial for you if you knew where the attack is coming from. Those tanks are completely out of position. First of all, they are between mines, but then if he attacks from here, they won't participate at all, so that's a problem, right? I'm assuming there's some action is gonna happen right now, because you said that there was a problem defending this. Yeah, so look, exactly. You have 7 tanks over here that are not ready to defend this. This mine as well, too close to your army. You have to avoid that. If he's going up like that, that's actually not that bad for you, because he's imprisoning himself in this base, so that's fine. Your CC is not yet there. Okay, and now the most important thing is to target the goons with tanks, but the problem is that we have this tank, for example, that cannot reach the tanks. So he will attack the Zealot. And by attacking Zealot, he's attacking your units. So the problem is that, as you can see, the best positioning for tanks is in such a line, right? It should be horizontal line against your opponent army. just like in TVT. And those tanks are not participating. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if those tanks are up here, we just defend that. If we target goons, we defend that easily because there are like what? 11 Zealot? That's pretty manageable. The problem are, again, those mines that can just blow us up. Yeah, those mines are always problematic. But look, if you had those tanks, you literally would defend. Like, those goons probably would be dead right now, or close to. Yeah, so what we missed is what I said. We didn't have Vulture over here, we didn't have Vulture over here, so we didn't know where the attack is coming from, and because of that we couldn't position ourselves properly. And now we see carriers, so that's panic mode, of course. But the good thing is that we have upgrades going versus carriers, so this is not that bad. But we don't have third base yet, right? Where is CC? Lost CC? I didn't notice even. Okay, we probably did. Oh, okay. Our CC went to the Africa. Okay, but we are gonna get it eventually. You making Goliaths too early. A little bit too early. You don't need them, because I assume that you saw the carriers, right? But the problem is Goliaths cost gas, obviously, so you would like those upgrades, for example, going first. So keep making vultures until you are about to switch only to Goliaths, and then you don't want to make anything else. So for example, we have like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factories. That's fine. We could go up even to like 10 in this position. We are, I don't know. Maybe not because we are running out of minerals, but in general, let's say this base is on time and we are fighting carriers. Usually what you're gonna do is to only make one tank and other units in the rest of the factories. And in this case, it's good to have a little bit more factories because you will afford to make those units, so those vultures and Goliaths. Usually you don't need more than one tank at a time versus carriers. Yeah, but obviously this game is very hard right now. Our expo is too late. And now we are getting even busted without the carriers. Okay, let's summarize a little bit. So, first of all, fix your mining. I know this is like boring, tedious maybe, not many people want to do that, but just having 100 minerals 2 minutes into the game is the whole difference in the world. Like I said, the first minutes of every matchup are the most important, and if you're missing 100 minerals for free, then there is clearly something going wrong. So that's the first thing, mining. The second, building placement. Check out the Zealot SimCity video, and you have to make those buildings right. You cannot do it like that. It's just killing your game with this barracks, with this factory, with this armory even. That was also like major blunder. This is something you can learn for free, mining and building placement, that is gonna boost your game without any additional knowledge. So this is something you can practice every game, do every game, and it's just gonna make every game of yours better for free. No resources in game have to be used to make it better. So that's the second point. The third point, when you were dropping with vultures, save the dropship. That's insanely important. And fourth, have scouters for opponents' attacks. So when you don't know where the attack is gonna come from, then obviously you cannot prepare that well. So you need to have scouters. Like I said, put vulture here, put vulture here, maybe even here. If you know beforehand from where he's gonna attack, you can easily reposition those units over here, and you probably defend, and you probably have normal healthy game, because even though he went for carriers, your upgrades were on time, so that was actually pretty good. We already have +2, we can go for +3, we can go for 4th expo or even attack, we can do stuff. If we survive taking this third base, we can just play a normal game. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.